Okay, so now that our topic has been created, I just want to quickly show you how to create threads, and I also want to show you how to look up everybody's post. So if you click where it says final question and it's underlined in blue, click that hyperlink and it's going to take you to a blank screen. What you'll have to do is you have to create a thread in order to reply to the question. So again, like I said, the blue box at the top, you'll click create thread. And when we do this at the very end of our session today, I'd like you to just put your last name and you can just title it response or Windish. That would be all you'd have to say. It does not matter. So you want to make a subject, and I always like to have my students identify it by their names. As you can see, when the anonymous post comes up, everyone had the same title. So I've now started to encourage them to put their last names or first and last name on the response. You're then going to type your response. And all you have to do is click submit. The nice thing is you can save a draft, but that does get a little tricky because sometimes people save a draft and then they forget that they did not hit submit. So you want to make sure that you hit submit. And there is your response. So if I want to go in as another user to read it, I would just click where it says Windish response. And I would read type response here because that's what I wrote. If I'd like to respond to this post, all you're going to do is click reply. As you can see, it says reply, Windish response, and you would reply here. Again, scroll all the way down and click submit. Here you can see that I have created a thread and I've also responded to a post. Now, when we do this at the end of our session, you are going to make sure that you write a response, and then I'd like you to reply to at least 3 people in this classroom so that I know that you're reading all of the responses. Okay, again, I'm going to use the breadcrumbs at the top, click back to the topic, final question. And then since I'm the only one who's responded, I'm actually going to go back to discussion board to show you how you can view everyone's response at once. When I had 725 responses, it was rather difficult for me to keep clicking into every response. So what I found is if you click into the topic, what you can do is you can select all and click collect. It takes a few minutes. And now what I can see is everyone who responded, I can see their responses right then and there. It is a little difficult because if they do have it posted the same name, it's hard to recognize what it goes with. However, the nice thing is if I see any inappropriate post, I can then go in and just quickly delete the post by clicking to the post, and then I can just hit the delete button right here. I have had to delete a few of the posts just because they were not very nice to one another, using words that I would not necessarily allow them to say to one another in my classroom, so I did delete them. I have yet to have any inappropriate posts written. Sometimes with the elections, they did try and put who they were going to vote for, and I kept reminding the students that that wasn't what the discussion board was all about, and so I did have to go ahead and delete some of those. But for the most part, they are pretty responsible when they are on the discussion board. So that ends the discussion board section, and you can see that it's just very nice because you can have students do this in class. You can also have them do it at home, and they can respond to one another. You can post a bunch of questions and have them respond to your questions, or you can post one question and they can respond and then respond to one another. This is a great interaction, especially for those shy students who don't necessarily like to participate in class. This gives them a way to share their ideas without necessarily having to speak in front of the classroom. The next video, I'm going to show you how to use the chat feature.